15 phrases that secretly mean, I'm turned on right now. She's begging you to act, but most men miss it. When a woman's turned on, she rarely says it outright. Instead, it slips out in ways that sound casual, even forgettable. But if you know what to listen for, the subtext becomes obvious. These aren't the usual phrases you've heard recycled 1,000 times. These are the ones that slide under the radar and hit you hours later. In this video, we'll break down 15 phrases that secretly mean she wants you right now. 1. Wait, what were you just thinking? You're sitting across from her. Maybe the conversation paused for a second. You looked at her and didn't say anything. Just a half smile, a pause, and then she blurts it out. Wait, what were you just thinking? Seems innocent, right? Like a curious question. But what she's actually doing is responding to a shift in your presence. She felt something, a flicker in your eye, a momentary silence that felt heavier than usual. This phrase isn't about the answer. It's about the tension she suddenly became aware of. It's her way of saying, I just felt something in the air, and I'm hoping you felt it too. This phrase almost always shows up in moments where the physical energy changes, when words stop mattering and the nervous system starts talking. Most guys laugh it off or answer with something dumb like, oh, nothing, wrong move, because what she's doing is opening a door, not to your thoughts, but to your intention. 2. I hate how calm you are when I'm not. This one usually shows up in the middle of a fake disagreement, a teasing back and forth, or even her pretending to be annoyed. You're cool, you're still, you're letting her vent, but you're unmoved. And then, she says it. I hate how calm you are when I'm not. That's not criticism. That's attraction leaking out sideways. Because when a woman is emotionally activated, nervous, worked up, overthinking, and you stay grounded, it does something to her. It hits her in the gut, not the brain. What she's really saying is, your nervous system feels like home, and I don't know what to do with that. Something about you makes me want to let go, and it scares the hell out of me. Most guys respond with a smirk or try to fix her emotions. But what you should do is stay calm, stay quiet, hold that stillness a little longer. Because at that point, she's already imagining what it would feel like to completely surrender to you. 3. This feels dangerous, doesn't it? She won't say this while touching you. She won't say it when you're already close. She'll say it in the pause before the pause, when something unspoken has crept into the conversation, but no one's named it yet. This feels dangerous, doesn't it? It sounds like a joke, but she's not joking. She's narrating the energy between you and inviting you to co-sign it, not because she wants to stop, but because saying it out loud makes it more real. You've likely hit a moment where the conversation has veered off autopilot, where eye contact is lasting longer than necessary, and the rest of the world is fading out. She says, this feels dangerous not because she's scared, but because she's tempted. And if you look away, change the subject, shrink, she'll feel rejected without ever being rejected. Because in her mind, that phrase was her version of putting her hand on your chest. 4. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but this sounds like the start of a secret. And it is. But not for the reason you think. She's not sharing a fact. She's not confessing anything meaningful. The content doesn't matter. What matters is the risk. That phrase signals, I feel safe enough with you right now to risk attraction. She's testing how well you hold her vulnerability. Not the story she's telling, but the way she's telling it. There's a vulnerability in arousal most men never consider. The fear of being exposed, of wanting someone more than they want you, of showing your cards and getting nothing back. So when she says, I probably shouldn't tell you this, she's not talking about the thing she's about to say. She's talking about the way she's looking at you while saying it. Most men focus on the anecdote. The ones who get it, focus on the atmosphere. 5. You're really not going to kiss me, are you? Let's be clear. She'll only say this once, and only if you've already built so much tension that it's almost unbearable. For both of you. When she says this, she's not asking a question. She's handing you a moment. She's making the move while pretending she isn't. This is her version of leaning in 90% and waiting to see if you'll close the gap. If you freeze, she won't repeat herself. If you make a joke, the moment dies. But if you don't rush it, if you just hold her gaze a beat longer, then step forward slowly, like you've known since the first minute you met her that this moment was coming, that's when she'll melt. Because it won't feel like you kissed her. It'll feel like she made it happen. 6. Why do I always act different around you? This one's not for the club, not for late night texts. This shows up in quiet spaces, coffee shop moments, drives home, balcony conversations where time seems to slow. She says it casually, almost like she's asking herself, but trust me, she's watching you when she says it. This line is a crack in the mask. It means, part of me feels exposed around you, and I don't understand why that excites me. I feel like the version of me you bring out isn't someone I show to everyone. There's something happening here that I'm not in control of. She's not just talking about acting different. She's talking about being more in her body, more present, more emotionally raw, more aware of you. And if she feels that way around you, it's not just attraction, it's magnetism. 7. That just gave me chills. This one sneaks out by accident. You say something honest, not flirty, not clever, just real. And then she says it. Maybe while touching her arm, maybe with a slight breath afterward. That just gave me chills. Most guys brush past it, thinking it's just a reaction to the words. But here's what it actually means. Something in you, your voice, your timing, your presence, reached beneath her filters. It bypassed performance and hit her nervous system like a tuning fork. Chills are not a reaction to information. They're a reaction to resonance. When she says this, what she's actually saying is, I just felt a physical wave of something from you, and I don't know where to put it. You don't need to do anything big here. Just notice it, and keep going. Because if she got chills from your presence once, she's already hoping she'll feel them again, in ways that go far beyond words. 8. I feel like I shouldn't be saying this to you. This phrase usually shows up with a half smile and eyes that linger a beat too long. She says it like she's joking, like she's play-scolding herself. But underneath the play is something else entirely. A desire she's not sure you'll meet her in. What she's really saying is, I'm starting to feel a little exposed, and I kind of like it. This is the part where I usually pull back, unless you show me it's safe to go further. She's not afraid of saying too much. She's afraid of being too seen, of having her attraction noticed and not returned. This is where most guys either overplay it and start trying to be slick, or underplay it and act confused. But the right move? Hold the moment still. Let your gaze stay on her. Say less. Because silence, in that moment, does more than any line you could come up with. It tells her, you're allowed to say things to me that you don't say to other people. You're not too much. You're actually right on time. 9. You always look at me like that. She doesn't say this the first time you look at her a certain way. She says it the 3rd time, the 5th time. After it's happened enough that it's burned into her nervous system like muscle memory. You always look at me like that. The tone isn't annoyed. It's curious. Sometimes even breathy. And there's one common denominator. She doesn't break eye contact when she says it. This phrase is her subconscious saying, whatever that look is, it's doing something to me. Because here's the truth. Eye contact isn't just visual. It's energetic. There's a way some men look at a woman, with a kind of relaxed certainty, as if they've already undressed the performance and are looking directly at her. That kind of gaze doesn't ask for permission. It sees her, fully and calmly. And if she says, you always look at me like that, it means part of her feels undone when you do, and part of her doesn't want you to stop. 10. I should probably head out, but doesn't move. This one's subtle, and one of the most misunderstood. It's late. The conversation's winding down. She glances at the time, then says, I should probably head out. But instead of grabbing her purse, she just sits there. Maybe adjusts in her seat. Maybe asks one more question. She's not trying to leave. She's announcing attention and waiting to see how you respond. This phrase means, I'm aware this could shift into something more, and part of me wants it to. I know the right thing is to go, but something about you is making me stay. It's her giving herself an out, without actually taking it. She wants to know, will you make her feel like staying was a choice or a mistake? Don't rush, don't pressure. Just drop into the stillness and let the silence stretch. If she's still there after 30 seconds, the truth is already obvious. 11. This is not fair. It sounds like she's complaining, but listen closer. This usually comes out when something about your energy, your presence, your voice, your restraint, is hitting her in a way she didn't expect. This is not fair, said with a tilted head, a soft laugh, maybe even a bite of the lip. It means, you're affecting me and I wasn't prepared for it. I feel out of control, and weirdly okay with that. It's not actual frustration. It's a confession of how much you've gotten under her skin. She might be trying to finish her story, and you're just watching her. She might be mid-sentence when she suddenly realizes you're paying way too much attention to her lips. That's when it slips out. This is not fair. And all she's really saying is, I can't stop thinking about what it would feel like if you finally made a move. 12. I don't usually do this. This is the phrase that comes just before something shifts. She leans in closer. She stays out later. She tells you something vulnerable, or lets you touch her in a way that feels heavier. I don't usually do this. Don't take that at face value. What she's really saying is, I feel something here that's pulling me out of my own rules. This feels new, not because of what's happening, but because of who it's happening with. She's not talking about her behavior. She's talking about her internal permission system. And in that moment, she's handing you the keys, while still pretending she's not. Most guys respond to this by saying, really? You don't? Wrong move. The better move? say nothing. Just hold her there. Because what she's asking for, without asking, is for you to treat the moment like it's sacred. And if you do, it won't be the last time she breaks her rules around you. 13. You're doing it again. This phrase only shows up with women who are self-aware. They're emotionally intelligent. They know their patterns, and they know when they're being pulled. You're doing it again, said when you touch her lower back, when you pause before answering, when your voice gets quiet and the tension climbs. She doesn't always say what it is, because she can't. Not without admitting how deeply it's working. She's trying to keep a wall up, and her own body keeps betraying her. You're doing it again means, my heart is speeding up and I don't know whether to run or stay. I told myself I'd play it cool, and now I'm struggling to breathe. And the best thing you can do in that moment? Keep doing it. Slow, steady, without flinching. Because when a woman says, you're doing it again, she's not telling you to stop. She's hoping you'll keep going. Just enough to tip her over the edge. 14. This feels like a movie scene. If she ever says this, even once, pay attention. Because what she's really saying is, I feel swept up in this moment. Something about this doesn't feel real, but I want it to be. She's narrating her own experience of emotional escalation, and the truth is, women don't fall for men who are just nice or safe. They fall for the ones who create moments, the ones who slow down time, the ones who let things breathe and burn. So if she says this feels like a movie scene, know this. You've already won her body. Now she's asking if she can hand you the rest. 15. Say that again. This one sounds simple, but it's electric. She's not asking you to repeat words. She's asking you to repeat the feelings she just had when you said them. You might have whispered something playful, or paid her a compliment with a tone so heavy it dropped into her stomach. Say that again. Not because she didn't hear it, but because she felt it, and she's trying to feel it again. This is not an invitation for logic, or over-explaining. It's a craving, a second hit, a quiet whisper that says, that thing you just made me feel, please do it again. And if you can give her that same feeling, not with the words, but with the presence behind them, that's when she starts leaning in, not just physically, but emotionally.